This is a continuation of the video that decided to turn it off at a specific time, and I was talking about emotions. So these two videos go together. Talking about emotional control and emotional detoxification for the person that is involved in a relationship where both partners have Kundalini, a tremendous amount of volatile emotions through the detoxification and process brought on by the Kundalini will occur. That occurs. People really want to take a step back and review why they're feeling such amazing levels of fury. And I mean fury. Just people can become so infuriated over a very small, the water glass spilled water on the table, or somebody didn't close the door all the way, whatever small innocuous thing it may be. The person explode in anger, explode rage. And I mean to the point where people become physically combative with each other. This is very important for you to understand, because this will happen within a Kundalini couple of scenario. Or, one couple becomes very and very, snarky in their comments or in their criticisms of the other. And, the other is just kind of at them like, whoa, where did that come from? Now, I know that this naturally happens between couples anyway. People are going to have their arguments, they're going to have their disagreements. In the Kundalini context, it can become extremely strong. So strong that there are other constraints that are forcing that couple to be together, such as they know that he wants them together, and so they have no choice but to be. See, that's a different, but it doesn't lessen the amplification of the toxification of emotions that occur. And so people, for you that are having, a relationship with a Kundalini person, and you yourself are Kundalini active, you want to really take the time to look at your emotions. Definitely take time to meditate. Definitely take time to do your devotions to Kundalini. Okay? Definitely take the time to do this together with each other. Okay. Take time to extend loving, emotional, pure love thoughts with each other and feeling other. Give each other gifts. Go out of your way to do goodness for each other. You must do this, because the levels of emotional blockage have been collecting your entire life. Ever since your mom and your dad told you no, there's been an emotional blockage. Most are going to come out, not all of them, but most of these will come out. And you have got to prepare yourself for this. Both of you need to prepare yourself for this. It's unlike you may have ever experienced. Love will be incredibly strong, but it needs to be incredibly strong in order to counterbalance some of the negative emotions that have nothing to do with either partner that are going to be detoxed out of the system. We are trained in the Western societies how to deal with emotional excesses. We're not taught in school how to restrain our emotional responses. Psychology doesn't really cover it. Okay. We as Kundalini people need to take that education and apply it directly to who we are and how we are within a Kundalini relationship, a Kundalini couple relationship. As I said before, meditate together, be devotional together, things together that are positive for each person. Love the person, love your partner, and want to serve them before you want to serve yourself. This is incredibly important. This is the teaching of St. Francis of Assisi. Lord, may I serve rather than be served. Both need to do that. Both. Because the one who loves the least in the relationship will control the relationship. Neither of you should try to control the relationship. Let Kundalini do that. Remember, it's a relationship that is really among six consciousness. The three that you are, the sacred male, sacred feminine, married, and committed to developing their sacred child in each person. Levels of consciousness for each person. So when the Kundalini couple comes together, there are six of consciousness. If you have to spread them apart, but kind of come together. It's a blend. And within that blend, you have the job of just how you relate, respect, love, assist, and listen to your Kundalini partner. Now you're going, well, I don't have a Kundalini partner, so how does this apply to me? Well, you have a partner. You have a partner. You have a partner. And both of you need to discuss or watch them. Because even though your partner may not be awakened, they are around an awakening person, and they may experience the influence of being around a Kundalini. Important for us to realize this. This is what I wanted to say in the two videos now. I don't know why it shut off before, but it did. And I'm also not seeing any comments up here because I think it's more was. Vincent tells me, he says, your voice is coming up a bit deeper than your natural voice. I have the gain turned up pretty strong on this microphone. It's got to be the microphone because I'm not like on drugs or anything. I hope it isn't too bad. And I'd like to say hello to everybody who's tuned in the second time around. So if you have any questions about any of any part or parcel of this topic, please feel free to ask, but you better do it soon. Better in there. Kundalini couples are very, very powerful people, and they have a great task upon this world is to be direct reflections of Shakti Shiva that are awake or activating with them. Now, if you have one person who is awakened and another person who's activated, the awakened person should have gone through some of this emotional inner exploration. And so if you're an awakened person within the couple scenario experiencing, you need what is occurring. You need to understand what is occurring. You need to allow what is occurring. If you're the activated person within the activated and awakened couple scenario, it's really hot in here, by the way. I'm sweating. Then you need to realize the level of furious detox that is coming through you. If you have been in your early life due to Kundalini karma, then those levels of resentment for that abuse will come forward. You need to deal with this anger. You can kind of see how powerful these levels of emotion can come across. They can literally change your life as you're processing the detoxification of these resentments and emotional blocks from your body, from your consciousness. If you were raped as a child, say by an uncle, some friend of the family, whatever, the male, then you may hate men for a certain amount of time. As this package is dismantled within you, you might want to be around anybody that is anywhere closely resembling a man. Here you are inside of this relationship. Okay. You need to look at that. You need to realize, okay, he can do it. Not all men did this. One man did this. And of course, that karma will reach out to that one person. And so you've got to forgive. You have got to forgive those individuals that have caused to develop emotional blockages within your system, no matter how they are. And as the awakened partner, you just gotta hold back. You can't let yourself be triggered. Not your fault. You know it's not your fault, but it's being treated sometimes as if it's your fault, and it's not. So you just need to understand that and forgive that. You need to forgive it. This is incredibly important. This is what will save your relationship instead of having you blow apart because of the emotional toxicity. You're not releasing. Instead, you're not forgiving. You're not being tolerant. You're being triggered by emotions that are detoxed. And that is just, that's a recipe for disaster, for catastrophe. And you don't need to go there. You just need to realize what is happening. And as I said, all have their issues, whether Kundalini awakened, activated or not. All will have their issues, but within the Kundalini continuum, within that continuum, it can be furious. It can be, you may see some very strong, crazed expression partner, and you may feel that within yourself. I've had direct experience with this. I know exactly what I'm talking about. You cannot allow yourself, from an awakened standpoint, to be triggered. From an activated standpoint, you cannot substitute the person having a relationship for the people that cause you the emotional upset. Whoever that might have been. And let's admit, that could have been another lifetime as well. We will carry our work over the next life. Some of it, not all of it, but some of it we will carry with us. And that some can be part of the emotions that need to be purified from previous existence, along with the karma that occurs. Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for listening to this and questions about this. And Donnie Romano says, is there such a thing as saints for oneself, or is it just the grace of the Shakti? Typically, it's the grace of the Shakti. Now, the Shakti give the person the idea or the vision of a saint coming through. But what makes a saint? The only thing that makes the saint is divinity. The only thing that Kunalini is divinity. Physical divinity impressed upon the physical system. Saint Assisi was semi-divine. Saint John of the Cross, semi-divine. semi-divine. St. Teresa of Avila, semi-divine. It's divinity that does this work. And if divinity feels, and Donnie, if divinity feels that, if divinity feels that you would receive the message in a better way by showing the image of a saint, then that's what it will be. Someone's writing, your internet connection needs a Wi-Fi amplifier aligned with your mouth movements. Yikes. It just never ends. Well, I actually have an amplifier. They say it's an amplifier, so I feel that this will actually come together. I think that that eventually we'll get studio quality recordings. I spent a lot of money on this microphone. It's one of these, YETI, and I looked it up on the web, and they have a lot of reviews for this type of work, for this exact work. But I also agree with Bridget and Robert Honings that I probably need an amplifier. I never even thought of that. So thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. I hope my voice isn't too low. Luke, I am your father. Kidding. Okay, let me look back, see if there's any other questions or comments here. And for example, is there a difference between prayer to Bhagavan Nityananda of Ganesh Puri and Padre Pio, Ramana, and the Shakti? No, except for maybe Nityananda of